A heated hearing on Capitol Hill today as Republicans gathered information on the federal investigation into alleged fraud in Minnesota. Now, prosecutors say fraud in social service programs could total as much as $9 billion. Now, during the House Oversight Committee hearing, Democrats accused Republicans of political targeting. But Chairman James Comer said oversight failures allowed this massive fraud to occur. The investigation has put Democratic Governor Tim Walz under intense scrutiny as Republicans question his leadership and accountability. Joining me now is Washington Stand reporter Casey Harper, who's been tracking today's main stories. Now, the fallout, Casey, appears to be growing for Governor Walz. What are Republicans saying about his future?
Yeah, Tony. Mr. Walz is finding it difficult to find a Republican friend who will back him up. Not a single voice has raised up to defend him. And, leading Republican voices like Majority Whip Tom Emmer said that the more we look into this fraud, actually the more widespread it is. And he's called for Walz to resign. Of course, Walz said he's not going to run for re-election. And by the way, Senator Amy Klobuchar said she's seriously considering replacing him. He said he's not going to run for re-election. I suspect he thought that that would satisfy sort of the lust for justice that we're seeing over this rampant fraud. But there's still these calls for resignation as more and more comes out, like we saw at the hearing today. In fact, here's what House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer said at that hearing today.
Governor Tim Walz, Attorney General Keith Ellison, and Minnesota's Democrat leadership have either been asleep at the wheel or complicit in these crimes. How could they allow this massive fraud to go on for years? This is why we're here today. We must expose this theft of taxpayer dollars and hold everybody accountable who let it happen.
So, Tony, the more I look into this, the more it seems that the fraud we've discovered is actually just the tip of the iceberg of what's been going on in Minnesota.
Casey, was there any discussion today I know the focus was on Minnesota, but was there any discussion about this possibly being just one example of where fraud might be found in other parts of the country?
Sure, it was. And it's actually, for a lot of the American public, this kind of fraud and abuse is just now getting attention. But I've been covering waste, fraud, and abuse in the federal government for many years. And sadly, cases like this one is just getting a lot of publicity, which I think is what you're alluding to, Tony. There are billions and billions of dollars that have been wasted, even bigger than this latest instance in Minnesota, which has sort of become a powder keg, especially with programs like the COVID payments that went out. I mean, we lost hundreds of billions of dollars potentially were lost to waste, fraud, and abuse. So this is sadly just the latest chapter in big government largesse gone wrong.
Casey, will there be additional hearings?
Oh, yes. We're going to see many hearings on this. There's actually hearings have been going on for a while in Minnesota. It just hasn't got national media attention. Now we're getting this federal attention. I think, there's actually a lot there to be looked into, but at the same time, Republicans have a strong political motive to keep poking this, to keep exposing it, especially, which, as you mentioned earlier, many Democrats are actually, if not defending it, they're attacking Republicans for investigating it, like Democrat Summer Lee, who said, Tony, you're actually a racist for wanting to look into this fraud and calling fraud fraud.
Well, while this hearing was actually going on, there was a shooting in Minneapolis. An ICE agent shot a woman, sparking strong reactions as ICE is there doing their investigations, looking at some of this criminal activity. That has brought about some strong reactions. What are we hearing about that?
Sure, there's multiple videos of it, and depending on which video you look at and how you look at it, you can come to different conclusions, and there may be more videos and more details coming out. Some fast facts here. ICE has backed up the officer. They immediately released a statement saying it was self-defense. Tim Walz, who's really the man of the hour right now, he came out and condemned ICE, condemned the officer, as did the mayor of Minneapolis, and he used some very strong language and told ICE to get out of his city. And maybe most importantly, maybe not, but President Trump just came out as we were going on air and said that it looks to him like this shooting was self-defense. So we sort of have a partisan on-camera shooting again, which is sadly all too familiar, and political battle lines drawn here.
Well, I'm sure we'll see more about that in the days to come. Casey Harper, thanks so much for joining us today.